built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you looking for a place to relax and unwind after a long week? Grotto Bar and Lounge is the perfect spot to enjoy a full menu and in-house DJs on Friday and Saturday nights. If you're wanting to start your Saturday or Sunday off the right way, stop by for brunch starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget, Grotto offers a full catering service as well for those graduation parties, birthday celebrations, and weekend family get-togethers. Give Grotto Bar and Lounge a call today at 402-261-3019 or visit them in person at 70th and A in the Clock Tower Shopping Center.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G1877747, and G1965599.
When you're outdoors beneath Nebraska skies, adventure comes in all sizes. From quick escapes and long weekends to true off-the-grid retreats. Paddle, hike, camp, explore. Whether you have a few hours or a few days, we'll guide you to a state park or recreation area that's a perfect fit. Start your next adventure today at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome in On the Block on a Friday. Austin Orman Eastrick with you. Jay Foreman under the knife right now. We'll see if he's out and about for old school. If not, we'll hold the fort down. But this is On the Block, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Check them out with 3 different locations in Lincoln, including 84th and Havelock. 30th and Yankee Hill, and 85th and Old Cheney. Then you can also check them out up in Omaha at 168th and Maple Streets. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Eastrick.
Yeah.
How you doing, partner?
I'm here. Great day yesterday.
And there's never a doubt.
Great day yesterday.
Indeed.
It was a good Thirsty Thursday. Boy, we missed Kevin.
Did you know how good a day it was yesterday, Stricky?
Did we get to 500?
535.
Yeah.
Wow. 535. That many of you donated to Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach over $278,000.
That's amazing.
Great work.
Great work.
Great work. Take the fan base.
No doubt.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, great things in the NBA. You know, Knicks showed a lot of resilience. I've got to be honest and say, since Jay's not here, best wishes to Jay and you know, getting through the process as well and the recovery and all of that. But at the same time, let's be real. They showed a lot more resilience in New York than they sure did for Minnesota.
Hey, no kidding.
They went out soft as cottonelle.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, from the start, you know, New York looked as if they were in for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to also say that there's a difference of playing in front of your fans for a closeout and playing on the road for a closeout, but it shouldn't matter. You still should try to show up and give the best of efforts. And now we're going to see what they're made of, because I'm telling you, if Indiana doesn't close this out, those are things to look at. So those are good things that are happening out there.
Let's stay on that. Because in the post-game press conference last night, Pascal Siakam was asked about, you know, what went wrong for the Pacers. And he said that, you know, credit New York. They played a little bit harder than us tonight. And the reporter followed up and he's saying, well, why was that the case? How did you get outplayed? How did a team play harder than you? Pascal Siakam said, it happens sometimes. It's basketball. Alluding to, it's not that we, the Indiana Pacers, weren't playing hard, but Pascal Siakam took it as New York found an extra gear to stay alive. The reporter took it as Indiana allowed itself to get outworked in a game 5. What's that like as a player? How can you express to people that you did put your best foot forward? It wasn't enough. And maybe, you know, you did everything you thought you could do, but the other team was just better than you that night, without it coming across as, oh yeah, we were saving up for game 6. Oh yeah, we didn't give full effort.
I'm going to give it to you in an analogy form.
Good. You're Eric Strickland. We expected that.
You know, you know how I roll.
Yeah.
By way of the analogy, here's what you got. There's a thing called a cat. All right. A cat is a cat.
I own a cat.
So you would understand where I'm going. So there's multiple things about a cat. A cat is playful. A cat is coy.
Mm-hmm.
A cat is sneaky.
Very. That's why mine wears a collar.
But there's something about a cat when they're caught in a corner that they come out scraping more so than the normal playing and, you know, jostling with the yarn or toying with the catnip or, you know, whatever it is. There's fighting the cat because you see the way that he plays.
Mm-hmm.
If you put something on the ground, it'll get after it. It'll attack it. It's doing its normal cat things.
But it knows it's not life or death.
That's the difference. It's no different than when a cat falls, and why they say a cat has 9 lives, because when a cat falls, it just somehow finds a way to land on its feet without harm, hurt, or danger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of that's the best analogy I can say for what those situations look like. One, I can understand it from New York's standpoint. They don't want to hear what that media would do to them if they got gentlemen swept.
Woo, baby.
After everything,
that'd be spicy.
There's no excuses about hurt and injury. This is why Cat played a tremendous game even after, you know, I've had that too. That's not fun. When someone knees you in the thigh.
Charlie horse. Yeah.
And especially in that quad area,
yeah.
It's tough. It's not a quick bounce back, but they were able to get him, you know, enough, and he gave what he gave, and solid. They made some adjustments. They saw some aggressiveness out of Bridges. I think they understand what that media would have did to them if they would have came out and given a lackluster effort in a closeout game like that. So that's that cat in the corner that gave everything that they had.
On the flip side of that, Tyrese Halliburton. Captain brought this up, and I need to get your thoughts on it. He says Tyrese Halliburton needs to shoot more. He says 7 shots is unacceptable in a game like that. Do you think he's right? Do you think that, 7 shots is okay for Tyrese Halliburton? Do you think that's the reason Indiana lost? It was because Tyrese Halliburton wasn't more aggressive in looking for his own opportunities to try to score?
I mean, let me ask you this question. Do you believe that Tyrese Halliburton has a takeover mentality?
I think we've seen it.
Takeover, not clutch, not big shot, not. I'm talking about take over, where you say to yourself, "I'm playing chill," and then
it's my time.
Come here. Mm-hmm. That MJ, that Kobe, does he have that?
I think it just looks different for Tyrese Halliburton, because I think Tyrese Halliburton is more a guy that wants the ball in his hands to make the right play, more so than a guy who wants the ball in his hands to take the shot. So I think Tyrese Halliburton wants to control the flow of the game, but I think for him, he's okay if that means he's not taking the shot.
Okay. So with that in mind, it seemed to me that he didn't feel that it was that big of a moment. He wanted to try to play within the structure of Indiana Pacer basketball. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem to me that being overly aggressive like a Jalen Brunson or someone like that does that team well. They still did some good things. They had some chances. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even the fact that, they lost. I think if they executed on a few of those opportunities and chances, and you got to give New York credit.
Big time.
They played a solid game across the board from all of them. Defensively, hard. Mm-hmm. Bridges being on the attack, getting into the paint. They just did some things. Better basketball, finding Cat hovered around the rim some, got some drop-offs for some dunks. They didn't play their usual Knicks style. Sit out there, and Brunson was hot, especially in the first half. Mm-hmm. It's just, it happens. You had a team, their adrenaline, their focus. And when that happens, there are times when, you just going to come up with the L. Now you get to go back home, and you should be able to come with that same type of energy. You should be able to have a little bit more than they do. There's a little bit more on the line for them. They don't have the same pressure. There's not an expectation for them to win this series after going down 3-1. Mm-hmm. But they'll still come out and play hard just because of where they're from. It's built in. There's certain cities where that's built in, where there's, usually that's a Detroit or, certain cities like that, or even, Cleveland, or there's a little bit more grit to them. Philly, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Outside of the Embiid era and the Harden era.
Do you think it's easier to teach a guy like Tyrese Halliburton to be more aggressive in hunting his own shot, or is it easier to rein in a guy who shoots too much and tell him you got to start looking for your teammates?
No, it's easier to have a guy like Tyrese Halliburton to push him forward. It's always easier to push someone forward than to rein them in. You know what I'm saying? I think it's probably easier to tell a horse to gallop than to heel. Sometimes they'll fight you more on the heel than on the gallop. Sure. They get to run themselves free. So it's easier, I think, to push someone out there as opposed to trying to rein them in.
I saw this from HP Basketball on Twitter, talking about Tyrese Halliburton. He had a bad game. He's still learning to shift approach, which sometimes takes players like him until they're just slightly older. If he's better in Game 6, Indiana probably wins. If his teammates are better in Game 6, Indiana probably wins. If they're both just as bad, then the series is going 7. Strick, I just don't think that saying Tyrese Halliburton has to go all Kobe Bryant for Indiana to win is conducive. Indiana built around Tyrese Halliburton, understanding him, who he is, and I think who he wants to be. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton wants or feels the need to be the guy to take the last shot every game. I think that's why they went and got Pascal Siakam. I think when Indiana's at its best, that ball is moving, and whoever ends up with the ball, they trust to make the shot. it's not right or wrong. It's just how Indiana has chosen to build. So I can agree that Tyrese Halliburton needs to be better. He can't keep disappearing once a series like this. But I also think to some degree, that's just who Tyrese Halliburton is. When it's his night, he knows he's feeling it. He can get as hot as pretty much anyone in the NBA, save maybe the top 3 or 4, pure bucket getters. But Tyrese Halliburton, the thing that's holding him back from being, a first, second team all NBA guy, where he's, just quote unquote, just an all-star or maybe a third team all NBA guy, is that he will take some of these nights off where he's okay with just running the show and not saying, okay, no one else has it going. I got to get shots up because I'm my team's best option. I can respect that. And if that's who he wants to be as a player, great. But then we have to, listen to Tyrese Halliburton when he tells us who he is, right? I mean, is he new era Jason Kidd? Is that who he is? I don't know.
Well, let's be real about this part too. There's contrasts of style. Knicks are the old school Knicks in a way, in a new school version of them.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to get the Pacers to play at their speed. Didn't give them too many opportunities. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The turnovers were, pretty moderate. I think they want to get you up in that 18 to 20 range, which gives them an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one area. The Knicks dominated the rebounds. Wasn't even that the Knicks shot it excelente from the 3 outside of Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anything great about the game as a whole. But what the Knicks were able to do is get the Pacers to play at their pace.
Yeah.
Because if this game gets into the 110s, 15s, 20s, it's at the Pacers' pace, which is a detriment to the Knicks. So
in New York can get there,
but they have to be on one. They have to
Right.
be on one to get there. Like they're normally not there. They just have to be like a buzzsaw to get there. But Pacers, they're capable just by their style.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't shoot well. You're looking at 41%, 31 from 3. Good from the free throws, just not a little bit more than the Knicks. But they got beat on the rebounds.
They give up 60 points in the paint, which is a tough way to win a game.
There you go. So it's breakdowns. But those are mental things because in your mind, you're like 3-1. Play our game. If they get it, which they did, like a cat out of the corner, and let's go back home and run it up. Let's be honest. I'm going to be real. There's a psyche, subliminally, I think, that we know what's at stake, but it's sure better to do it at home. I mean, it's a subliminal thing. It's not something that is. I think it's actually a covert mentality that just kind of hides back there. You want to go and play. You want to win. If they trick it off, we got them. We play good enough to do it if they trick it off. But okay, they played well enough to win. And now they'll go watch film and they'll understand we played at their pace and not created the pace as we are the pacers. Right? And they'll deal with that.
They have today to get back home, watch film, and then game 6 of the series will be Saturday night at 7:00 Central. Which is more likely, Stricky? The Pacers wrap it up at home or the Knicks force it to game 7? What are you feeling?
Tinfoil hat. Just look at who the refs are.
Are they calling in the extender?
Just look at who the refs are. Just see who the refs of that game are, and then you might be able to make a. Now there's a period where you could just play so bad that you can outplay. You can miss the opportunity that is gifted to you. But who the refs are, if it's a close game, and I'm going to be real. I think both Pacer and Knicks fans travel well, meaning they're good fans. OKC fans are solid, especially at home. Knicks fans are everywhere. And I can attest to that because when I was playing with the Knicks, when we played the Atlanta Hawks, we had more Knicks fans in there than Hawks fans. Miami, same. A lot of places we went, there were a lot of Knicks fans in the building. They're kind of like that type of brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, Knicks fans and Yankees fans, right? Probably a lot of similarities, overlap there.
So I can say, I would think if you're going for marketing, if you want to change the narrative, get it back to rivalries, get it back to team concept, the promotion of that, trying to find those casual fans again, I think you want the Pacers. If you're looking for probably ratings, definitely arenas blown out the, and when I say arenas blown off the roof off the arenas, I mean the prices through the roof, then you're probably gonna want the Knicks.
We were going to talk about it. We're going to move it up to next segment because I think it leads in perfectly. Thunder are already in the NBA Finals. Pacers are on the doorstep. Who does the NBA need to make sure gets the example that the Thunder and Pacers are setting? Is it more important for the NBA to push the Thunder and the Pacers to NBA fans or to other NBA teams? We'll talk about that when we get back to On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Are you looking for a place to relax and unwind after a long week? Grotto Bar and Lounge is the perfect spot to enjoy a full menu and in-house DJs on Friday and Saturday nights. If you're wanting to start your Saturday or Sunday off the right way, stop by for brunch starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget, Grotto offers a full catering service as well for those graduation parties, birthday celebrations, and weekend family get-togethers. Give Grotto Bar and Lounge a call today at 402-261-3019 or visit them in person at 70th and A in the Clock Tower Shopping Center.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see lots of sunshine with light and variable winds. Afternoon high near 82. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 56. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms in the afternoon. Otherwise, mainly sunny with light winds and a high near 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Go Hog Wild Pet Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a 1-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
A happy Good Sense Friday to you and yours. Thanks to our friends at Good Sense for hooking us up with lunch today. Had that good chicken bacon ranch, some baked lays, and Mountain Dew. You can get your own at any of Good Sense 5 Lincoln locations. Ricky, we're talking some NBA playoffs here. Lots more to get to on this front. A little WNBA as well with the topic you brought up I think is going to be fun. And then Nebraska men's basketball in its non-conference. We'll revisit the Huskers. Big thanks again to Fred Hoiberg for stopping by Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach yesterday. He's brought his team down to Matt Talbot relatively frequently. He was able to stop by, gave us some time to talk about Matt Talbot, what they do, their mission, why it's important to him and his team to be down there, and also caught up with him on some basketball stuff, NBA, his roster, his summer, and all that sort of good stuff. But we'll get to Husker Hoops here in just a minute. Stricky, you brought up a really interesting point about the NBA and what it's looking to push, right? If you're going for the big market, free agency, big spender, TV ratings, you go for New York. If you're going for the organic sort of, hey, look at this team that built its way up from not much. It did it kind of step by step. You're going for Indiana. And I think that you can throw the Thunder into that conversation since they're through as well. And honestly, even the Timberwolves with how they got to where they were. When you look at the example of the Thunder, and we'll just go with the Pacers in this case, assuming the Pacers close out the series. Is it more important for the NBA to push the current players on the Thunder and the Pacers, to push the organizations, the Thunder and the Pacers, on casual NBA fans and say, hey, we're going to promote the heck out of these two teams, learn to love them because they're here in the finals, they're really good, they're really fun, trust us, you'll enjoy them? Or would it be better for the NBA to prop the Thunder and Pacers up more as an example to other teams? Hey, this is how we want you to build. This is how we want you to go about, looking like an NBA franchise in terms of how you manage your assets, your team building strategy, and having a long-term plan. Is it more important for the fans to get to know the Thunder and Pacers, or more important for other NBA teams to get to know the Thunder and Pacers and how they were built?
Yeah, I think that's you've got to get them to make the shift. You know what I mean? You got to figure out a way to get them to make the shift, and they've got to shift their thinking, because the way that they've built it, the new collective bargaining, the tiers, you've got to get them to make the shift, and that's a way to do it. It's a way to promote it, push for it. But there's also something that they're dealing with, and that's loss of ratings, and so. loss of viewership. So there's some things they're being hit in different waves of so it's going to be a matter of priority.
Yeah.
What's the priority for them? So that's going to be the part that you got to weigh out and observe and see if you can come up with a solution on.
There's an article from The Ringer that touched on this, and the title is "There's No Right Way to Build an NBA Contender Anymore." And here's what the Ringer had to say about the teams that are in the NBA Conference Finals, and then, of course, the Thunder being on to the finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the most conventional contender with the reigning MVP, 2 young co-stars drafted by the team, and a mix of homegrown and imported talent. The Thunder were built the old-fashioned way through losing and the lottery, though Holmgren is their only top 3 pick. Much of their rotation is filled with lower picks and undrafted players, right? But they did do trades, right? That's how they get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But Strick, that I think too is savvy team building, because they made a trade when they were in semi-contention to get Paul George to pair with Russell Westbrook. When it didn't work and Paul George wanted out, they did a good job of dealing him. Number one, where they wanted to go. They did a good job of identifying what they wanted to get in return, and they got a lot back for him. So it's not like the Thunder weren't built from trades, right? They trade for SGA. They trade for Alex Caruso. That was obviously a big one for them. Hartenstein, their major free agent guy, but then, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, obviously Jalen Williams as well. Both Jalen Williamses were draft guys. Isaiah Joe is a guy they've had around. The Thunder did it kind of the traditional way. Think about the Wolves, right? They were really bad for a really long time after KG left. Bits and stops and starts and spurts of respectability, but they get the number 1 overall pick, and then they make a big trade, a massive trade. They go out and they get Rudy Gobert. Who would have thought, little old Minnesota would make a trade like that for Rudy Gobert? They trade Karl Anthony Towns, a guy that took them places, but not the places they wanted to go. They get rotation pieces out of it. And then the flip side of that is the Knicks. Trade for Jalen Brunson, trade for Towns, trade for DiVincenzo, trade for Hart, trade for Bridges. They had Hartenstein until he walked. Mitchell Robinson they drafted. They've had him for a while there, but they've really just filled out their rotation with a bunch of, okay, if you can give us anything, it's their late second round guys. The Knicks did it the big money way, showing that can still work if you get the right guys and you make the books work.
And if you get the like your top guy to not go all in, because that was a major key of making sure that they can even get Cat.
Right.
Because without him and the money that he took, that they're not able to pull that off, let alone Bridges. So you're right. You're that you have to get that too. Like if you got a guy that's going to take supermax deals, then you better have a cachet like OKC. So there's multiple ways to do it. I don't think there's a one way to do it, but I think there's multiple ways to do it. Shout out to the Pacers for the way that they've done it as well.
Traded for Tyrese Halliburton. He was not their draft pick.
Yeah.
They got rid of who they trade to Sacramento. To Sacramento. Who'd they give up?
Oh, who was that?
They chose Fox over Halliburton to pair him with
Boogie, wasn't it?
Sabonis.
Oh, that's right.
Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner shared the front court, and they had a lot of those same questions that Cleveland did.
That's
with Mobley
right.
And
It was
Allen.
Sabonis.
It was Sabonis.
Wow. But wow.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to have to pay Sabonis,
and they were wise.
They were wise. Yeah, because Sac stuck, and the only asset they had was the De'Aaron at that point. And with that frustration, they were able to at least pull that off.
Yeah.
You got an older driver. Yeah, okay.
So the Pacers trade for Tyrese Halliburton. They trade for Pascal Siakam. But then think about TJ McConnell, been floating around the league. Andrew Nembhard. Okay, whatever. Neesmith, second round guy, or maybe late first round guy.
Great scouting.
But not his first team.
Yeah.
Not his first team there in Indiana. Obi Toppin. They got him off the scrap heap when New York didn't want him.
Yeah.
They built very organically the way they had to do it. And they'll have to pay Tyrese. They extended Siakam, obviously. But what you're seeing is big money can still act like big money. In New York, in LA, we'll see what Dallas, Houston decide to do. Maybe down in Miami, they decide to go that route again. But I think what we're seeing, Strick, is you have 3 models out of the 4 conference finalists that show you that the NBA, maybe the narrative and the discussion is coastal and big market, but the actual success can still be found in small markets.
Yeah, it can. And similar to the discussion that we had with Coach Hoiberg yesterday, right? I brought it up without trying to like throw it at them. You remember that where I'm going with that?
I think so.
About the financial part.
Yeah.
And Jay tried to throw it at me to say, dang, Strick, you came at him like Nick. It was Nick.
It was both
Tricky
of them.
Nicky.
It's a team effort from those two.
Yeah, Tricky Nicky Sainer. Like,
people.
dang, you just going to say to his face, like, you're not going to be Kentucky. No, you that's not the context. What I'm saying is they're not going to be able to spend the same type of money. So they got to do it differently. And that's what I wanted him to get to is this is how it is for a lot of those small market teams. They're going to have to do it in a different way. They're going to have to find gyms underdeveloped, underserved with potential, and they've got to hit.
Yeah.
So they've got to see those SGAs. They've got to see those Halliburtons. They've got to find those Toppins. You know what I mean? That is an integral part, a good piece, but you don't have to blow the bank off, or pull the money heist to try to make it happen, right?
Right.
So those organizations have to do that. Even Detroit now. Teams like that. Because people are going to flock to LA. They're gonna be okay with going to New York, Knicks.
Right.
They're gonna, some are gonna take Miami, but that's gonna be because of style. It's gonna be some
Pat Riley.
Yeah, it's gonna be some other things.
Yeah.
It's not like this is what the crazy dynamic is. 402-464-5685. I know we got to get out of here soon, but it's a crazy dynamic that Orlando and Miami for years were not destinations until LeBron did.
Right.
They're not places that people were like, that's a crazy thing to think about, right?
Yeah. Orlando's biggest free agent would have been Tim Duncan.
Yes.
But they didn't let his wife on the plane.
Yes.
Think about that.
Boy, did you talk about fumble in the bag. But you know what I mean? Those are some things to really kind of say, makes you say, after you think about it. So I think OKC's created a culture that can draw. I think Boston's still a draw.
Oh yeah.
They're just cap strapped now. They're going to have to, there's going to have to be a trade, and it's going to be your boy that we've talked about before, that we thought they were going to pull the trigger. They were able to win a championship with it, and that's Brown.
Yeah.
They're going to have to move him, unfortunately. So there's a couple of people that are going to have to make moves in order to clear tier 2s, in order to at least give themselves a chance in the free agent market to do something.
The other thing that this article points out here, Strick, is Benedict Mathurin of the Pacers.
Yeah.
He is hot and cold.
Yeah.
He's an X factor, right? Not a glue guy. He's not a guy that you know what you're going to get every single night. But think about the difference between what Benedict Mathurin has done for the Pacers and what Jonathan Kuminga has done or not done for the Warriors. I get it. The Warriors are going to be more covered. Steph, Draymond, bigger market, all of that. But if Jonathan Kuminga was more accepting of his role, like it seems like Benedict Mathurin is, imagine how different we'd be talking about him and or the Warriors right now. Benedict Mathurin is certainly a confident guy. Go back and watch his Arizona highlights. But Rick Carlisle and that staff has done a good job of getting him to buy into being patient, to continue to work on the nights that it's his night. They ride that wave. But when it's not, you don't hear him complaining, saying, yeah, I'm the next face of the franchise.
Yeah. I to be honest, I still believe that if those two switched, it'd be a different situation. You know what I mean? I think Mathurin, I think Mathurin's style, I think he fits good with the Pacers too.
Yeah,
but I think he would fit better there. And I think Kuminga would probably fit better with the Pacers as far as the way that
up tempo.
Yeah. And they do, but they shoot.
Yes.
So much more than attack. You see what I'm saying? And I think he kind of gets lost in that because it's an offense that is not conducive to I think his style.
Yeah.
I think if you put Kuminga in a top-end role, you got something.
Ooh, interesting.
That's how I could see it.
I see it.
Yeah.
Do you think he ever gets there? Will it be on him or on his team?
It's going to be on him. It's definitely going to be on him. Definitely going to be on him. No doubt. Yeah.
Ooh, here's the other thing, Stricky. So we know that the Pacers and the Thunder both traded away Paul George to kickstart this rebuild. Who did Indiana trade out alongside Domantas Sabonis for picks? This guy went to Houston. It's a name I would not have remembered as being a Pacer, but it makes sense in the end. He played his college ball in that same state. Not Brogdon. They did trade him away eventually, though. Well, no, he wasn't there. He was with Milwaukee.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. This guy that played his college ball in the state of Indiana.
Wow.
D-Wade 2.0. Victor Oladipo.
Oladipo, that's right.
Remember how good he was for
until he got injured.
Till that knee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he passed up the bag, too. Golly.
So here's
boy,
this.
we could have a show just on that alone. Go ahead.
Oladipo got traded to Houston in 2021. Indiana got Karis LeVert. Okay, there's another name, former Michigan guy. Pacers trade LeVert the very next year. In the draft picks that they got, one of them turned into Andrew Nembhard.
Right. Gotcha.
Oh, and you were right. They did trade Brogdon, too. Pacers got him from Milwaukee. I forgot that's where they got him from. And then they sent Brogdon to Boston for Nesmith.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. That's crazy. Crazy.
Did you see the thing? It's not on the dock anymore. I took it out of my Twitter bookmarks about the Sam Presti building the Thunder as well. The first real domino in this Thunder team was Sam Presti as GM of the Supersonics trading away Rashard Lewis for a trade exception.
Yeah, you used to be able to be real creative and stuff like that back in the day. You used to even be able to give cash.
They not anymore?
I don't think they can no more. Yeah,
I know you can in baseball.
Yeah, I don't think they can in basketball anymore. I know it used to be something that you could do, but I think they in this last collective bargaining agreement they've eliminated that. I could be wrong.
You can, but there are limitations.
Right.
So NBA teams can trade cash as a part of a trade, but are limited to $7.24 million for all transactions over this last season.
Right.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Let's take our final break here of hour number one final segment, then a fun hour two, Husker basketball, some Husker football, plenty more ahead yet on the show.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Shwizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Shwizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwizow.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with light and variable winds. Afternoon high near 82. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 56. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms in the afternoon. Otherwise, mainly sunny with light winds and a high near 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We got about 10 minutes left here in hour one of On the Block. We're going to talk a little Husker football here. Hour two, we'll get to some Nebraska men's basketball news. Non-conference schedule was released, and Stricky found something on the WNBA, protecting the brand. What does that look like for them moving forward? Fun conversations ahead, including this one here. Came out yesterday, did not get a chance to talk about it with all the fun stuff, all the activities, the hubbub of the day down at Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach. Which, again, 535 of you donated.
It's amazing.
Tip our caps to you. Thank you, Lincoln, for that.
Lincoln showed up once again.
As they do.
Hey, the burgers look good. Did you get one?
I did not.
Yeah, they look good. I wanted to, but you know, Stricky's trying to keep it sexy. I told you, it's summer sexy.
Summer
I'm trying to keep it tight. So as much as I love Good Sense, I would much rather you and the Boxsters have that kind of
wonder what Bach is eating
meal.
in the Philippines right now.
Bach is eating really
Probably
good.
eating good.
When I went there, the food is actually really good. I actually enjoyed both Taiwanese and not Taiwanese, but Thailand and Thai, and you would actually be surprised, man. The food is actually pretty good. It's lean, you don't feel after you're done, type stuff. So yeah.
Well, I was working up in Omaha. There's one restaurant I would go to is in Exarban that it was just right across the street, right? Grab a quick bite, pop back up.
Yeah.
The other one was a sponsor. Stricky, I checked. It was like a year later, maybe 2 years later after I started here. Both those restaurants got shut down by the Douglas County health assessor.
Really?
So your boy's a survivor of some janky Omaha food. So shout out to our great sponsors here at the Ticket for not putting our lives in danger like that. Thank you very much for the great work you do to all our food sponsors here at the Ticket.
I got to be honest. There's places, Austin, that, okay, there's two parts. And I know we got to go. But there's two parts. One, when I was in high school, I worked at a restaurant. I don't even know if they have them anymore. It was called Bonanza.
Okay.
Do they even have those anymore? They used to have these specials, all you can eat shrimp and steak and, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I progressed pretty well. I went from the dish guy, picking up the stuff, washing the dishes, to on the line doing the fry, and then I progressed really quick.
Oh boy.
Right. And so, but I learned something because I used to love this thing called bread pudding.
Okay.
Yep. Used to love it until I started working and I know where it comes from.
You see how it's made?
And I was like, that's it for me.
That's enough for Stricky.
And it's like that when you start, I start delving into certain places that I used to love to eat. And I'm like, ooh, I'm not eating there no more.
Now that I know.
Now that you know.
Yeah.
Once you see what goes on in the back, or when whistleblowers or people they start exposing, I'm like, that's why I stopped eating there. And I'm not going to name names.
Bread pudding for you, though.
But that was one.
Bread pudding.
Once I learned that, I haven't eaten it since, Austin. I'm being honest.
Big Bird says he thinks there used to be a Bonanza at 27th and Cornhusker here in Lincoln. I don't know. That was before my time.
It was the old school cafeteria style. You had the tray, and you would put your tray on the thing and slide it down, and you would tell them what you want. And, they would cook it up and bring it out to you.
How about this, Stricky? Bonanza Steakhouse restaurants, once a prominent chain, are no longer in operation.
Yeah.
Founded in 1963, later sold, faced significant decline. Currently operating under the Ponderosa and Bonanza brand with 3 locations open in the U.S. as of December 24.
Yeah, I believe it.
R.I.P.
And it wasn't bad. I mean, I ate the food there, but that was the one.
Eric is shouting out USA Steak Buffet.
I haven't been there.
Used to go there to the one in Fremont with my grandma and grandpa.
The buffets that I used to love that I can't do no more are the Asian buffets.
Interesting. Okay.
Not any specific name. The ones where they had all the stuff laying out. Yeah. No. I haven't done that style in a while because Eric, there's a pause on that. I put a pause. I didn't put my pause on it, but I put a pause.
The wildest buffet story that I have is my wife and I are on our honeymoon. We landed in Myrtle Beach. We're looking for someplace to go. There's a buffet that looks like it has some pretty high reviews. Like, okay, cool. We'll go check it out. We walk in the door. They tell us it's $65 a person for a buffet. We're like, you know what? It's been a long day. It's
how long
rated.
ago was this?
We took our honeymoon 2021, I want to say.
Okay.
2022, somewhere in there. So a few years ago now.
Okay.
Anyways, we're like, okay, screw it. We're hungry. It's been a long flight. We're just ready to get something to eat. It was the most overpriced buffet for the worst food.
I believe it.
I have seen at a restaurant like that.
I believe
it. It was so generic, so bland. Half the stuff that was supposed to be hot wasn't. Most of the stuff that was supposed to be cold was lukewarm. It was messy.
Oof.
There are people everywhere. And it didn't look like much of anything going in. It's like, okay, maybe we just go here for the experience. That was a tourist trap. You got us.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the name of the place, but it had remember that sculpture that the Marlins put up in their outfield?
Yeah.
Pretty much what it looked like on the outside.
Yeah.
I could still point it out to this day if I drove past it. Do not go there. And the craziest part, we saw a party of 20 or 30 people
pulling up.
pulling up. Like, it's $65 a plate. Not many people. What are we doing? It was horrendous.
Well, I'm gonna just add on to that and say that there are the only place that I can envision myself doing what you just said, and I don't go there because I know I'm not going to eat like that. So it would really be a waste for me, because I'd have to go in there like the old school fat boys on I don't know if it was Beach Street or Breaking or whatever that movie was it was on, where they came into the buffet. They was like, all you can eat. Doom, 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 do, 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 do.
I thought you were going, get in my belly.
No, but what I was saying is there's those places like those Brazilian buffets where you turn the card over and they just keep going.
Red or green. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can see myself paying $65 is for something like that.
There's one right down the street, Stricky.
Yeah.
Let's get him on here. Come on. Get him in the building. Get him in the door.
Let's get it.
That's what we need. 2737. Thanks for chiming in, Eric Big Bird as well. I will say, great honeymoon aside from that horrible first restaurant we ate at. The last restaurant we ate at was also an eye-opener for us, Strick. We went to a grill and bar. You know, think about a bar and grill, right? That's usually how you say it. Come to find out, grill and bar is fancier than bar and grill. I walked in wearing pretty much exactly what I'm wearing today. Cargo shorts, a t-shirt, and a hat. And my wife walked in her travel clothes as we were headed to the airport afterwards. And we were sitting among people in their Sunday best.
Right.
Like, how are we supposed to know that a grill and bar was different than a bar and grill? There's a difference, apparently.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
I couldn't see that either. Just switch the words and just change the whole format.
Right.
Okay.
So we felt very out of place. Good food there, though. The best part, though, a triple-decker oatmeal cream pie.
Ooh.
You know the Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies? It's like Big Mac style. With 3 cookies and two levels of toppings.
I can't even do it like that no more.
My boy. I'm telling you. Yes. It was in the
I
vending,
struggle with the little
machine of our
cheesecake.
hotel.
I struggle with the cheesecake, the big cheesecake now that you can get. I struggle with that, bro.
I'm just saying, triple-decker oatmeal cream pie.
No, sir.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Get it.
I'm a fan. Let's go to break. Let's pay some bills. When we get back, how does the NBA or WNBA protect the brand? Did they need to have some conversations about what's going on? Keep the shining stars the shining stars. And then Nebraska men's basketball released its full non-conference slate today. Plenty more hoops talk on the way. Husker baseball underway in just a couple hours as well here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
1221 N Street, Lincoln. CordellCordell.com.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside, and all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Final hour of the week. It's 4 o'clock on a Friday. Final hour for On the Block, I should say. We still got old school. We still got corner three. And, of course, we got your Kansas City Royals on the airwaves tonight, pregame at 6:30. Seth Lugo makes his return from the injured list to start against the Detroit Tigers. I'm Austin. Eric Strickland, Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet. To my left, to the right, if you're watching on any of our streams, brought to you by the great people at Sartor Heyman Jewelers. They're just down the street from us at 12th and O. They're also on 27th and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. All right, Stricky, you threw this one out to me. WNBA, protecting the brand, protecting Caitlin Clark. What's your angle? What you think about?
So here's what this could be a real FAFO moment for the WNBA. You looked at some viewerships jump over 100%, 123%, sales of merchandise, somewhere in the 200 to 300% range of increase. Ticket sale prices have increased, sold out arenas. You remember having the comment of Angel Reese discussing early on that they're not only showing up to see this one person. We're about to find out. We can already see into the crystal ball of one or two of the games that were supposed to be played in big arenas that had to change. Mm-hmm. Ticket prices upwards of 120 average, had to drop down to almost $60 or $70 average. Not selling. You got 2 weeks. This is a great test case.
Yeah.
And let you know, say what you will about it. I'm saying this to say I think that the NBA handled it better than the WNBA has handled it. And they've allowed her to be beat up. They've allowed her to be cheap shotted. They've allowed this physicalness to continue upon her. Now injury has hit. Now, the same thing they did with Jordan. This is when they spoke of what they call the Jordan rules, because the brand was being hindered because even though he was still playing 80 plus games, he was getting killed, murdered, hacked, bumped, shoulders, elbowed. I mean, people were trying to, take him down. Same thing with Shaq. There was a period in Shaq's prime where they basically, coming down on his hands were getting mangled and he started throwing elbows back and they came up with the Hack-a-Shaq theory.
Yeah.
Or not theory, it's not a theory,
Yeah.
it's action. Right? So there's a lot of things that happen with that. So we understand that there's been rule changes, but there needs to be a not coddling or protect, but you could be hindering the brand, because if you can't provide the numbers and still allow, you just can't have a free for all out. There's probably want to create some penalty for doing certain things, and it's not just to her, but you want to make it collectively around the league. You just can't. There's some things you just can't allow, and it has to be penalized for it. And then you're going to penalize the opposite way for something that she didn't do. And she's just given a strong take foul. You hit her with a flagrant one, and she's been hit upside the head, knocked over, body checked, and it's not until after the game that you go with an upgrade to a flagrant one. It doesn't happen. It is the craziest dynamic. But if you're gonna fumble the money, we about to see what that's gonna look like right now in these next 2 weeks.
Do you think there's some underlying, jealousy or disdain for 22 in Indiana?
There's no question. And this is why this is okay. I think it's multifaceted. This is why you also see this. You also see narrative changes by creating things that are not there. Meaning foul, shots, big loss. You got your butt handed, Chicago Sky I'm talking about. You got your butt handed to you. So you create this narrative of there's a bunch of people spewing racist stuff at me because you couldn't hit you couldn't hit free throws, you couldn't hit layups, and you got blown out of the gym. So now to take the picture or the microscope or what are the magnifying glass off of you throw some stuff out there. And that needs to be heavily penalized, because if you can't hear it by video, you can't see it by video, you can't hear it by there's microphones all over those gyms.
Right.
You couldn't get it off of that. And if there's no way to solidify, but here's what people are going to say. Oh, it happened, but they're protected. Bruh. Put out what do they call a FOIA? Put out a FOIA on the video and the audio. And if you can't come up with it, where did it happen? So as of right now, based on the investigation, I'm not coming any against anybody, but I think these things have to be nullified, because you're asking for more money from the NBA.
I was just say, from who?
Right?
From the NBA.
You're asking for more money.
The NBA's searching a little bit right now.
They're for themselves. They got to try to protect themselves, because there's going to be a time when that deal's going to end. Right? So they've got to start trying to stack up and shore up some monetary things for themselves. So, they can't continue. We're looking at 20 plus years of now you want more. You're starting to raise your level. You're starting to get more viewership.
Good.
Ion and all of them got highest views than they've ever had. But you better start putting some things in place to protect that as your brand. Because here's why. Who was the next one they said was going to be up? From Connecticut.
Oh, Paige. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's not doing it. She's not drawing to the tune. She's playing good ball.
Well, Dallas fans are a little salty.
She's not drawing to the tune of what. So here's the one thing. They tried to make it the narratives are trying to make it a racial thing, but she's the same as Caitlin. So you can't say it's that. Asia and all of them, they can't say it's that because she's not drawing to the same tune as what, she is. So be careful. Be careful of biting the hand. Not that the hand's feeding you, but the hand is definitely putting eyeballs on you. So you got to be careful with that right now.
To her credit, I think Asia Wilson's done a good job staying out of
No question.
She's handled business.
No question.
I would say.
And she's balling.
Balling.
It's unfortunate that, sometimes you think about that, right? Think about like for Zeke and for Magic and all of the greatness that they were. Even go back and, look at some of the greats that came even before them. Dr. J. You have to think of how they probably feel when this guy MJ comes on the scene. So you can, I understand it, but at the same time, they muddled, they kind of did it on the sly. They didn't really at that time come out because
but how did Kobe
they
and
was
Shaq
playing
feel
at
about
night.
LeBron?
Huh?
How did Kobe and Shaq feel about LeBron?
Right.
Something like that.
Right. Right. This is why Kobe went at LeBron so hard. Because he's like, young fella. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, anyway. But that's why I think it's something to really think about and to consider. I know we can't, not unless the listeners want to continue on, we can delve off into another topic.
Well,
but
no, I think there's still
more.
more to get into here because I don't think what you and I, would be asking the WNBA to do is create, the Brady rules necessarily, right? Where this guy has a magical bubble around him.
Right.
It just seems to work out in his favor every time there's a slight brush. We're not asking for the WNBA. We're not telling them it's good business sense to, make the person they want to be the hero into the villain. Because if you give clear special treatment like that, Caitlin Clark's going to turn into the villain for the whole league.
Right.
Even her defenders will be like, yeah, it's getting kind of hard to defend this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Strick, I think this is one of these things. And we're not saying that there haven't been, great players in the WNBA before, right? I mean, Tina Charles, Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, you can keep going up and down the list. But right now, the WNBA is capitalizing on attention and on this one player in Caitlin Clark like they never have before. And they have to find a way to pass the business sense of the test. This is the biggest business challenge the WNBA has ever had, right? Before, it was just a write-off, essentially, for the NBA in terms of impact. But now that there's actual expectations, actual conversations around the league happening, many more eyeballs, much more attention being paid and conversation paid to it, the NBA is like, oh, maybe we have a chance to do a little something with this too, help ourselves out by helping that league become self-sufficient.
Yeah, because they do have an invested interest in the success of it because they get a percentage. This is why the owners are getting more frustrated. Go ahead.
Because I think one of two things could happen. Either the NBA wants this to keep going and they keep getting more and more from the WNBA, or the NBA can say, okay, we want to get you to a point of self-sustainability. Right. You figure it out for your own. Yeah, the little extra check was nice, but it was still in the red for us, not necessarily in the black and clearing. So you guys seem like you're at a point, you're in the direction of making money. We're going to cut you loose. This is your mark of validation. You're not reliant on us to fund you, to keep you going. Here's your moment. And if you're the WNBA, you're Kathy Engelbart, you can't mess this up.
Yeah.
This is the most important juncture in WNBA history right now.
Yeah. Well said, Austin. And this is why I say this is a big litmus test, these next few weeks. And again, what you don't want to create, because even though Michael Jordan came in the way that he did, there were still iconic figures and there were still rivalries and there was still competition, and he still hadn't broke through. You knew there was greatness, you know what I mean? But you still had to go through Larry Bird. You still had to go through the Bad Boys. you still had to even scrape through Cleveland. Like, people forget about Elo and Brent Price and Duckworth and all of them, and Brad, what's his name? He's in NASCAR now. He could get buckets as a center. Gosh dang, what was his name?
Doherty?
Brad Doherty. You know what I mean? They was tough. And then Harper was there before.
That's right.
I mean, Harper was considered to be Jordan-esque.
Yeah.
Before he got injured. So, you had to go through that. That was a gauntlet over there.
Don't forget my boy, Danny Ferry.
Steve
Kerr was there.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that team was even overlooked.
Larry Nance, the OG.
Oh, Larry Nance used to go to the heavens. Larry Nance could go and get it. He
went to the heavens more, Nance or Junior? Close, Tricky. They can both go get it.
That's a tough one. I think Senior was more overall skilled. I think Junior was just a high fly jumper.
I get you.
Yeah, but I think Senior could actually get buckets. He can get money.
I'm trying to find some more names on some of these.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Pacers. I mean, just think about that. You had to go through Pacers, Knicks. See, people are, he played against a bunch of
plumbers.
Man, miss me with that one. You had an up-and-coming young Shaq Penny.
Dan Marley.
Dan Marley was there before he went to Phoenix.
Harold Miner.
That was early. They thought he was going to be the next Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You had to go through them, Indiana, Detroit, Orlando, Miami was still in the mud, Hawks, shaky.
Charlotte with Muggsy.
Charlotte actually was pretty solid with Morning and that crew. Yeah. Curry, all of them. They were all right as a, up and coming. But, Bullets were terrible around that time until they got Chris Webber, and they were fun. Who else? Philly.
Sure.
Philly was just rough and rugged.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but out west, it was back, that early time frame.
Phoenix, Utah.
San Antonio. Portland. Sacramento.
Sure.
LA.
Mm-hmm. Utah.
Denver was horrible. Utah was top echelon.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't easy, man.
Golden State and the Clippers were the jokes. The entire NBA.
Right.
Everyone else, though.
Denver was shaky. But
Alex Ingles would give you buckets, though.
He give you money, though. They had
people forget.
Fat Lever.
God, what a name.
What a name, right? Fat Lever had that T. Buchanan shot back in the day. We're going to tease T. We got to get T back on here. T. Buchanan, he had that T. Buchanan shot that I don't know what I can't even call what that thing was. But he got busy. Mm-hmm. And Brian Stith was over there at that time. Mahmoud Abdul
Rahim. Ralph. Right.
Yeah. Mahmoud.
I think the other one. That's my bad.
Yeah. Then Nick Van Exel was there.
That's right.
Shoot, bro. It was tough. It was tough across the board. But anyway, back to Caitlin. Fever.
Aaliyah, pretty good.
Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I like her.
Solid.
Like her.
Trade for
Cunningham.
Cunningham.
I thought they did a good job of getting, bringing in, what they showed me in their last loss to the defending champions was they can still beat you without her.
Yeah.
They can still beat you. They'll blow you out with her, but they can still beat you without her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is Brianna Stewart kind of in that Kevin Durant, LeBron phase right now?
Come on
the come down.
I like what you're talking about.
I don't know if she's goated. Yeah, I mean, certainly in college, right? Yeah. The 4 national championships, she did at UConn. In the WNBA, they're like, she's been the standard for a while, still at or near the top of her game. But I feel like, is she even behind like Sabrina on that team right now?
In the high school?
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe.
I think.
I mean, you still draft her first in the All-Star game just out of respect.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think the one that's more on the fall is BG
Griner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's been a lot off the court.
Yeah,
in that realm,
she's more on the free fall for me.
Yeah,
but definitely
also,
Asia.
Got to bring up, Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird What they did.
You gotta give them credit.
Yeah.
I loved Sue Bird. I loved her style.
Maya Moore was a baller.
Yeah.
Emmeline Augustus.
Yeah. There's I even take you back to Teaspoon.
Sure.
Going back then.
Cheryl Miller.
Yeah. Even Swoops.
Cheryl, yeah.
They did a good job. Here's where I think they're missing the mark. You attacking the men that are trying to support you, which is the NBA. So some of the NBA guys will go to the games. They'll try to, give you love and props, and then, they may say something, and then you're trying to butt heads with them. Okay.
Bold move, Cotton.
Cool. Then you're in a space to where you can't take sides. More so than anybody in any organization out there right now, you need to stay out of politics. Period. Because you don't have enough cachet. The NBA
or cashola.
Right? Or cashola to be trying to take a side. Right? Because you already have minimal. Okay. Say what you will. There's a portion of them that operate with the rainbow. I ain't got nothing against them. That's what you do. But if you're going to make that your mainstay, you also shrink because there's people out there. So if that's going to be your target, you should have a whole treasure trove full of an arena of women. They are not doing a good job of selling to their own. That's what the problem is. So you're coming against the ones that support you and you also want to have there, because you can't win without the basketball lovers as a whole. You're fighting in a political battle. All of these are stripes against you.
In the eyes of the general public.
In the general public that you're trying to reach, because you, more than any, with your pricing, you need to catch casual fans. Because there's just not outside of here's how you know that's the fact. Because if Angel Reese can go and play down in LSU and that building is not full, look, I played at Nebraska and it was sold out before there was a time where the Mavericks we were gonna come and play in the Vandy against Chicago, I believe. And I think Pike was on the team at no, he was with the Clippers. But we were going to play Chicago in the Vandy, and that was right before the lockout. It was sold out in not even a day. She goes back there, won national championship for him. It's not sold out.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That tells you, even though you're a big mainstay and they loved you at the universities that you played, you still are not able to carry that on to the next level. Tell me any listener.
Well, even Iowa sold out Carver Hawkeye when the Fever came back.
But who?
The Fever, when they played the Brazilian national team.
But guess who that is? Caitlin. Even your girl, I think your girl even went back to Baylor one time before everything happened, and it still wasn't sold out, and that was Griner in her prime. So that goes to tell you that you've got to figure out a way to stay out of those mixes and those strikes so that you can draw people in, because it turns people off.
And this isn't going to be a shot at Iowa. As much as we love to take shots at Iowa, this is going to be pumping up just how incredible it was that Nebraska volleyball did what it did. Much as we love Husker volleyball, there's not a person on that team, even 2 years ago, that had the star appeal, crossover appeal, headline making ability as Caitlin Clark. And that volleyball team, 92,003. You see me walk in the Devaney Center every time. Iowa basketball came back to Kinnick. They got 55K. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But that's not a sellout.
That's not them. Right.
That's 80% capacity.
Yeah.
So, yes, they sold 55,000 tickets. Incredibly impressive. But let's put that in perspective for just how big, a brand Nebraska volleyball is.
Yeah.
And Strick, I think that's a good example for the WNBA too. You have to capitalize on Caitlin while she's here.
Facts.
She's not forever.
Facts.
Can you use Caitlin Clark as the springboard, as the touchstone to grow your brand instead of, oh, we have to just market the next star, like parent company NBA, to brand, team, organization when you go across the country?
You hit it. That's where I wanted to take that thought. And it's just a question.
Yeah.
You know, it's not me or you over here out of Lincoln, Nebraska, trying to tell them, what to do. I mean,
now, if you want to hire
Stricky in your marketing department, I might be able to give you something. But I probably had to walk in there with a wig though. No, man, we just playing. Oh, maybe I might be able to play an extra 5 years if I threw some heels and a wig on.
Yeah, we're going to break.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Although we can't control the air we breathe outside our home, we can make a healthy difference inside, and all it takes is a call to Bryant. With healthy air options, Bryant can help you eliminate allergens, odors, and harmful chemicals, all while controlling indoor humidity levels at the same time. If it's time for a breath of fresh air inside, it's time to call Bryant. Breathe easy, breathe healthy. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with light and variable winds. Afternoon high near 82. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 56. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms in the afternoon. Otherwise, mainly sunny with light winds and a high near 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Yeah, boy! You're getting hungry. Very, very hungry. Now look into my clock, and when your boy Flavor Flav counts from 3, you're going to go to Cane's, and you're going to order hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and secret Cane's sauce. 3, 2, 1.
Order for Flavor Flav.
I guess it worked. Raising Cane's. One love.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Play ball! Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in On the Block. Austin Orman, Eastrick. We're vibing here today during the show. Thanks to everyone who's been a part of it, everyone watching, everyone listening, everyone commenting. Let's talk.
Shout out to Michael Lampkin.
Michael Lampkin.
My guy.
Yeah. Shout out. Big shout out as well to Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based out of Hallam, Nebraska. They offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on not nothing, not something, everything, while keeping their prices affordable. Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give them a call today for more info at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Big shout out again to Nebraska head coach Fred Hoiberg joining us during On the Block yesterday. Had a great conversation with him. Nice to see the coach back in town.
That's a fact.
Sounds like his whole roster will be here by the time summer workouts start. Let's just start there. Strick, we didn't get a chance to touch on that a whole lot. We know there's a lot of international flavor on this team, right? Berke, Rink, Ugi, Esijan's played for Armenia internationally before. What does it mean for Nebraska to have everyone here for the start of summer workouts?
Yeah. So when I asked him that question, I can only reflect and reminisce about our time.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, it was a time when school was over. People wanted to get back home.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the beauty of us having a good group of Huskers. Badge, me, even Jerron.
Sure.
He may visit Salt Lake, but he would mostly stay and be here. Even though Jamar was Indiana, he would still stay here. DC Derek Chandler in our early stages may go back to DC for a little bit, but come back.
Mm-hmm.
Pike stayed here.
He's a South Dakota guy, right?
Right. But because of all of that, a lot of us was pretty much around.
Mm-hmm.
And we would get good bump. Like it would be a good opportunity for us to not only compete and play against each other, play with each other. We would go up to the Idleman League. They didn't let us play together, but we would be able to still compete. But the guys were here, and it allowed us to be able to gel. That's huge, especially for what's happening with the transition of this team now, losing Gary, now losing Bryce.
Right.
And you got a young group reintroducing guys like Jamarcus back into the fold, getting Berke to really elevate himself. You want to be able to put your eyes on it, also to compete and to battle, to see what the competition, Cale Jacobson, guys like that who are looking to go up another level, Frager who wants to find time. Now they can put their it does a lot for that, I think, to one, be able to work, really be able to stay close, be able to get in the weight room and not get caught. It's cool to go out and see family and friends, but if you're serious about the craft, staying around, yes, Lincoln is boring as heck in the summer when everybody's gone. I mean, if you're a young college kid,
hater.
If you're a young college kid, it is. It was so. I actually would I would stay, but the nights And the off times, they were not the best of times, but I had Omaha to go to because that was like home. So yeah, I'm glad to see that. It was good.
We got the full official non-conference schedule for Nebraska men's basketball today. I think that's worth going over just briefly, and then a note from Robin Washington, some of my own research as well. So for Nebraska men's basketball, they will begin the year with West Georgia, who comes into the year as the 346th ranked team as of right now on Bart Torvik.
Pause. Let's go back.
Where are we going back?
There's a guy coming in.
Oh, we got the exhibitions.
That part.
Yes.
Don't miss that one.
Exhibitions. AJ Dabansa.
Facts.
Rob Wright III.
That part.
And BYU will be in Lincoln for an exhibition.
Yes, sir.
Stricky, we got to see Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey up close.
Yeah.
AJ Dabansa might be another level.
No question.
Might be.
Dude, I couldn't just skim over that one. I will
no
be
matter
there.
what.
I will be in the building for that one. No question.
And then also Midland. Shout out to Midland.
Shout out to Midland. Well, Midland, we love you too.
We do. Absolutely. Great performance by their female flag football team at the spring game. So shout out
I
to
love that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually love that. And you're starting to see it at high school level too. I think that's good for the women. Flag football. I think that's dope.
I agree.
Yeah.
So now the question becomes, why do basketball teams get to scrimmage other colleges, but not football teams?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they do it in pros.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call
ball.
that? They call that when they have those practices. Joint practices.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Why not football? Come on.
Why not get together with Kansas and yo, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why not get together with who over there on that?
Mizzou.
With Colorado. What's up? What's up?
Iowa State.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. North Dakota State.
Why not?
South Dakota State. I don't know.
I think that'd be fun.
I think
but
so too.
I think they're trying to minimize injuries. Because
you're going to get injured anyways.
I know, but that's they think,
they might happen.
It's a psyche thing. They think that somebody's going to dive at legs or the quarterback, they're going to hit it. There's all these things they play up in their head. Let's compete. Let's get back to me. You know what? I remember playing football. Let me tell you. There was things that we used to do in football practice that I absolutely loved. Like the one where you used to lay on your back. I don't know if they call it the gauntlet. I don't remember what they called it. But you laid on your back. One guy had, I don't care which one I was. One guy has the ball. You can either go straight with one defender, or you could put a blocker in front of the guy, the ball handler, with you being the defender. So it was about how quick you can get up, assess the situation, get the blocker off, or find the angle but you couldn't go outside the cone, not cones, but it was the pads. You couldn't go outside the pad. And I'm trying to knock head off. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to that type of thing.
Bring it.
I don't know if they hit like that no more in practices.
Not really allowed to in some cases.
See, that's
so only a certain number
That's
of
wild.
padded practices over
Let's
the
get
summer.
some hitting back in the game. Let's go.
I agree.
That's my thing. What say you? 402-464-5685. Is it gotten too soft? Man, because I told you about my basketball side. Man, it was 5 days or 2 days before you didn't see an exhibition game for 2 weeks. It was practice. Practice?
Right. We talking about
practice?
Yeah. We talking about no
that
games.
was what was going on.
But we are talking about games for Nebraska men's basketball. West Georgia, Florida International, Maryland Eastern Shore, Oklahoma.
Love it.
Up at the Pentagon.
And you know where we will be.
Right up there. 4 hours away. That'll be Nebraska football's bye week, by the way. So we will absolutely be up there.
Do we go down to the Classic?
Hall of Fame Classic.
Do we do Austin?
We don't. I want to go. I want to be there. Nice 3-hour trip. I went to that event when Nebraska was last there.
Austin.
It was a good time, Strecky.
Might have to go down there.
I posted up. I love me some Power and Light. Don't get me wrong.
I was in the Power and Light during the big. No, it wasn't the Power and Light. It was some district they had where all the little bars were. I don't mean to throw my guy under the bus. Bruce Chubbuck and I, we kind of. Danny Nee's not listening. I hope not. I don't want to get a call. But Bruce Chubbuck and I both was like, this is a tense moment. Like we had just beat Oklahoma. We knew we were about to face the number 1 team in the country in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
They had stole the game from us. And we was like, we felt like we were just holed up in the hotel. Like, me and Bruce was like, bro, we got to get out of here or we're going to lose our mind.
Stretch
Like,
them legs.
you know what I'm
sanity.
saying?
Yeah.
So we like, hey, Bruce, you want to go down there? Let's go down there. We snuck out. We went down there, and boy, the Missouri cheerleaders was in there. We was having a ball, few drinks, had a good time, and we went home and beat the brakes off of them the next time. Boy, we had a good time. But yeah, I'm hope Bill Johnson, any of the staff, y'all listening, it's past the statute of limitations.
Limitations has expired. No ladders for Stricky.
No ladders, no
there.
running stairs, all of that. Yeah, none of that. Mm-hmm.
Nebraska's potential opponents in Kansas City, Kansas State, Mississippi State, and New Mexico. Kansas State comes in on Bart Torvik as the number 45 team, Mississippi State number 36, and New Mexico led by Richard Pitino, formerly, before he jumped ship, number 94. Then Nebraska will have Winthrop, South Carolina Upstate, Creighton, North Dakota, and New Hampshire. So, Stricky, as I went through this, I wanted to compare this to last year, right? Last year's non-con was shaky at best. Nebraska had, and this is end of year versus preseason, right? So take it with a grain of salt here. St. Mary's ended the year number 26, Creighton number 31, and Oregon State number 91 in the Bart Torvik rankings. The only other top 150 team that Nebraska saw was Murray State, and that was out in Hawaii. So it was a pretty weak non-conference schedule. According to Ken Pomeroy, Nebraska got a minus 2.9 rating point adjustment for its non-conference schedule, which, okay, on the one hand makes sense. You're going to the Big Ten, deep conference, all that, yada, yada. But
I think the year before that was tougher.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I would tend to agree. Yeah. But you look at this year, Stricky. For this next year, Nebraska is going to play number 28, Oklahoma, number 22, Creighton, and then they will get 2 of the 3 of Kansas State, Mississippi State, and New Mexico. So you're already at more top 100 games than Nebraska had last year. Winthrop at 177, not far off that number 150. But then you got some real cupcakes. I mean, you got number 346, 219, 360, 328, 321, and 344. And for reference, this is out of like 366 teams. Some real bottom of the barrel games. So let's just add it up. The Bart Torvik rankings from the end of last year and the start of this year. Actually, last year's grades out tougher on average.
Wow.
Just barely, right? Just very barely. 189.1 for last year, 193.3 for this next coming year. And again, postseason projections versus preseason, take it with a huge grain of salt. But Nebraska didn't scrape.
What does that do for you, though, Austin?
Well, but my final point is Nebraska has more potential higher end games in the non-con this year, but also more almost assured layups. Last year, I mean, Nebraska played some pushovers.
Yeah.
But they at least occasionally showed a pulse, right? More teams in the 200s, mid to low 200s. And I think Nebraska only had, one team that ranked in the 300s by the end of last year. That was Fairleigh Dickinson. So Nebraska wasn't exactly going out and getting, marquee games across the board, but they weren't scraping the bottom of the barrel. This year, they are challenging themselves in Kansas City with a game against Oklahoma, who's going to be the best team Nebraska's faced, back-to-back years now with St. Mary's. Those are the 2 best games Nebraska's played up there. Creighton grades out pretty well. So the upper-level tests are better for Nebraska, but the other games are far easier than they've been.
Yeah. So the question that I have, Austin, is what does it do for you? Like if you're putting that together, the scheduling of that the way that you did, what does it do for you? Do you believe it's going to prepare you? Are you just trying to get continuity? Like, my question then would be, what is the projected outcome that you're trying to get by doing it this way?
You know what I think it's about? The net.
The
net ratings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Boost your numbers.
Okay.
If Nebraska goes 2-2 in those top 100 games again, so Oklahoma, Creighton are guaranteed, and Nebraska's we'll play 2 opponents in the Hall of Fame Classic that right now start the year on the top 100. So you're guaranteed as of now 4 games against top 100 competition. You go 2-2 in those games, you're sitting good. You're sitting pretty.
Mm-hmm.
You go 1-3, well, it's not great, but you hung in there. 0-4 is a disaster. If you don't win any of the marquee games in the non-conference, that's absolutely a disaster. If you go 3-1, though, you're starting to cook, especially if those games creep up into top 75, top 50 range like Oklahoma and Creighton are right now. Maybe, I guess Mississippi State and Kansas State start the year off in that sort of range. If you get neutral wins over top 50 opponents, that's good for the net. And then, okay, you played quad 4 games the rest of the way, but at least you took care of business in quad 1 or upper quad 2 with some upward mobility for those games.
So I
really think it's about the net in the postseason.
Well said. I well broken down, and thanks for doing that. My question next would be, do you when you make the assessment, are you literally sitting around thinking a room, looking at those type of things? If you're who would that be? Would that be Fred? Would that be the
Fred,
GM?
Fred, Luca, maybe Troy Dannon.
Okay.
To some degree. Maybe if there's an associate AD for basketball, maybe Seamus is in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you have to have these conversations strategically. It's not, throwing darts at the wall and saying, "Oh, we haven't played this team ever.
Oh, we hit 20."
It's you got to call around and see who's got an open day.
Yeah.
There's got to be some strategy to it, which is where a team like Winthrop, that's been a fringy NCAA tournament team, a name that some people will know. That's at least an interesting
So my
one
birthday,
to me.
they better win that.
They better. North Dakota gave Nebraska a test last couple times they were here in Lincoln. I don't know much of anything about West Georgia, Florida International basketball, Maryland Eastern Shore, South Carolina Upstate, or New Hampshire. But I do think that this is a pretty good schedule for Nebraska to give itself some upper echelon potential, but also enough of what did we talk about 2 seasons ago, that runway to gel. I think it's a pretty well-designed non-con schedule. So
yeah,
we'll hit our text line. You guys have a couple comments and questions I definitely want to get to on. We'll do that to wrap up On the Block for the week right after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
1221 N Street, Lincoln. CordellCordell.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Yeah, boy! You're getting hungry. Very, very hungry. Now look into my clock. And when your boy Flavor Flav counts from 3, you're going to go to Cane's and you're going to order hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and secret Cane's sauce. 3, 2, 1.
Order for Flavor Flav.
I guess it worked. Raising Cane's. One love.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Summertime is here. It's time to get to Brown's Shoe Fit for their May sandal sale. From now through May 31st, get $15 off all regular price sandals. Whether it's for hiking, or the lake, or just everyday sandals, Brown's has you covered. And don't forget, Brown's carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your summer off right with the May sandal sale at Brown's Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln. Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a 4-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
Play ball!
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in. One final segment here of On the Block. Thanks to Love Volleyball Omaha for their sponsorship, LOVBOMA.com to get your season tickets or renew them. Of course, season 2 coming before too long. Thanks to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for their sponsorship. And
every kind of cut.
Every type of meat, every type of cut. Special Ingredient Butcher Shop, 3 Lincoln locations, 1 in Omaha.
And 1 down the street from Stricky, the place where you've been.
The hookup.
You've been to my crib, so.
Not true. It's a cat. We've been doing a show together for 2.5 years, and I ain't never seen the crib. So, leave that out there. But to be fair, you've also not seen my pad. So
that part.
We're even.
Or Little Herbie. Listen.
He's been in. You've seen it.
You put out something that I thought was pretty good on one of your tweets.
What'd you think?
And is Herbie the good luck charm for the turnaround of Husker sports? Everything has happened during Herbie's What?
The day he was born, Nebraska
That
football
part.
beat Illinois.
There it is.
And then everything I listed.
Everything went down.
I'm just saying.
Y'all have to go check that out. Tell them where to get it from, Austin.
At Austin_Orm.
There it is.
On the bird site.
And you'll get to see little Herbie.
And little Herbie, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Herbie Do.
Herbie, yeah, I don't know.
Duo.
Dua.
Deax. Duo. How do you say it in French? Duo.
De. Un,
De?
da, toi.
Oh, there it is. Duo.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't take French. Spanish guy. But Starter Haven Jewelers text line got a couple things here.
Yeah, let's
Corey
get it.
says there are hopefully going to be plenty of quad ones in conference. Does Nebraska care that much about non-con similar to football anymore? Number one, I'm glad you brought that up, Corey, because that's what I'm talking about on Corner 3 tonight. Why college basketball deserves your respect in scheduling. College basketball is great. Better about it than college football. But to that point, Stricky, Nebraska is going to play either 23 or 24 of its 31 games against power conference teams next season. That's a very high ratio.
That's a high ratio.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
In 20 games in the Big Ten, shout out to Robin Washington for these numbers, by the way. 12 of the Big Ten's 18 teams are in Bart Torvik's preseason top 40. Every night.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
It's a gauntlet. And that's why I'm not mad about it.
No, you can't pass on the non-con because you need those data points against other leagues.
Yeah.
But you do have so many opportunities in your conference that you can, quote unquote, limit yourself to 4 or 5, marquee opportunities out of the 11 that you get in the non-con.
I think, again, we talked about that ramp. I think that non-con schedule is something to really get a full assessment, put some numbers on there, because you want to know who you got. You want to know what combinations, who you can match together, who's going to give you what they can give you, who you can count on. You're gonna get that ramp to be able to do that, and that's what I like about it. So that when you get into the heart of the schedule, you at least know who you can trust and count on.
Yeah. Virginia Pirate says, was just going to ask, doesn't that include the Kansas City part of things? Yes, it does. And with how conference play works now, I wouldn't play too many tough teams in the non-conference. Keep in mind, conference play starts in November. I brought this up on Corner 3 not long ago. Strick, the ACC actually went down from 20 games to 18 games in conference play. They have one home and home that's going to happen every year. They'll have a rotating second home and home, but they're actually not going to play everyone in the conference. They'll miss one team in their conference with the 18 games as opposed to 20. But that's where I look, my secondary Duke basketball fandom. Duke has a killer. Like, because of the relative weakness of the ACC, Duke went out and got Michigan, Texas, Michigan State on the neutral, Champions Classic. There's one or two other, big games in Duke's non-conference. And even a team like Duke, with that respect that they're going to get off the rip, they look at how weak their conference has been. They don't think it's going to stand up to it. And they needed the flexibility to go get some more of these marquee games. Would it be nice for Nebraska to go get those? Yes, but I think it would hurt Nebraska to be that aggressive in scheduling.
I agree.
Because if they go 10-10 in the league and 2-2 in those top 100 games, Nebraska's probably an 8 or 9 seed.
Nothing really to go further on that. Yeah, I think you see it right.
Thanks for been a good week, Stricky.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you guys for staying with us all through the week, and definitely chiming in on the Friday. We definitely look forward to seeing you guys on next week. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes on what's going on with Nebraska in the regional.
Yeah.
Let's support them and keep our eyes on them, and then come back next week and let's do it again.
6:36 first pitch for Husker baseball out in Chapel Hill. Sorry, came out wrong. For Eastrick, I'm Austin. Don't go anywhere. We got an hour of old school right after this on the ticket.